Yo, what is going on everybody? It's Juan Solo here with A Squad Gaming and welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in today for some new Splinter Cell news. So first things first, please do take this with a grain of salt because this is not officially coming from Ubisoft. Obviously, over the last few years, we've had several instances where we thought there was a new Splinter Cell that was going to be announced, and it never did. But this new information might hold some water, but I don't want you all to get your hopes up super high until we officially hear something from Ubisoft, especially after Ubisoft Forward last week where we got no new Splinter Cell information, but we did get to see Sam Fisher in the form of an animated mobile game called Elite Squad, which was a huge disappointment, at least for me. But before we jump into the news, guys, if you go on to enjoy the video, a like rating would be super appreciated. Also, for those of you that may be new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you do not miss any of my future uploads. If there is any new information that comes out about this article or anything else Splinter Cell related, I will definitely be covering it here on the channel. I will also link this article that I'm reading this from down below in the description for those of you that want to go check it out for yourself. But it goes on to say that a new Splinter Cell game could be in development if an Italian voice actor is to be believed. In an interview with multiplayer.it, the voice actor for the Italian language Sam Fisher claims that a new Splinter Cell is in the works and could be coming as soon as 2021. And this voice actor's name is Luca Ward, so anytime you have a big platform title that releases in multiple countries, you're going to have different voice actors playing the role of the main character in separate countries with different languages, and that is what this guy does. He portrays Sam Fisher in Italy. So he went on to say that he believes Ubisoft is working on the conclusive episode of the Splinter Cell franchise, but he did say he's not entirely sure about how the game fits into the Splinter Cell story. So by conclusive episode, they basically mean the final episode of the franchise. Obviously, if Michael Ironside does return to do the voice of Sam Fisher, honestly, I wouldn't want to have it any other way if this is going to be the final Splinter Cell game. Michael Ironside is 70 years old and is a cancer survivor. Obviously, if they want to do a new Splinter Cell game with him as the iconic voice of Sam Fisher, better to do it sooner than later, no offense to Michael Ironside. So back to the interview, Ward went on to say that this new Splinter Cell game was tentatively planned for 2020, but several other Ubisoft projects got stuck. Honestly, I would think one of those was definitely Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That was definitely not received well. It's still receiving a bunch of updates to this day to kind of correct the game to where it should have been at launch. And he's also referring to the current situation going on in the world, and we obviously know what that is. And he also goes on to say that he is certain that a game will be made eventually and that Splinter Cell will return. That is a fact. But with all of that said, you can't take his reliability into question because he previously hinted at a new Splinter Cell game as far back as 2018, and that never led to anything. But I'm pretty sure during the E3 press conference that year, the CEO of Ubisoft was interviewed, and he did say that all of the Tom Clancy games were taken care of, and a lot of people were frustrated after that because we never really heard anything about Splinter Cell. Maybe something was in the works. There were several trademarks, I believe, back in 2018, 2019 for Splinter Cell that were obviously re-upped. There has been some other things, obviously, with the Ghost Recon series, and then we have the new Tom Clancy's Elite Squad that kind of has ties to Sam Fisher and Splinter Cell. But at the end of the day, the Italian actor for Sam Fisher is basically saying that Splinter Cell is happening, and it could be happening as soon as 2021. So with all of that being said, we obviously did not see Splinter Cell at Ubisoft Forward last week. And for the very end of this video, please, for those of you that are still watching, put on your tinfoil hats, because for those of you that are paying attention in the gaming world right now, we have the huge July showcase for Xbox that is going to be happening next week. Ubisoft and Xbox have had multiple partners in the past, obviously as recent as Assassin's Creed Valhalla when it comes to the marketing. Wouldn't it be absolute chaos, just completely mind-blowing if they did something at the end of the Xbox event next week? So at the end of the presentation, you have Phil Spencer saying, you know, thank you all so much for tuning in. We're really excited at Xbox, blah, blah, blah. And then it just completely goes black. It's quiet, it's silent, you don't see or hear anything. And then all of a sudden you hear that iconic noise that every Splinter Cell fan remembers. And then you have the 3 green lights, the iconic Sam Fisher night vision goggles fade into screen, and then it either says coming 2021 or just the Splinter Cell logo pops up or something like that, just to let us know that this is happening, that it's real. We've waited long enough. The last game was released all the way back in 2013. Yes, there has definitely been some questionable things from Ubisoft over the last few years. I hope and pray that if this is the final entry into the Splinter Cell franchise, that they knock it out of the park, send Sam Fisher and Michael Ironside off into the sunset with an absolutely breathtaking, fantastic game. But only time will tell, but that is pretty much going to do it for the video. Please let me know your thoughts on this down below. Do you think that this voice actor from Italy is talking nonsense, or do you think that this is really a possibility that they are currently working on a Splinter Cell behind the scenes, and we might see a teaser or something this year, and then maybe at some point next year, maybe next fall, we might see a new Splinter Cell entry into the franchise? But like I said, let me know your thoughts down below. Also, for those of you that enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and also subscribe if you are new to stay up to date on all content surrounding Ghost Recon. And if we get any new information surrounding the Splinter Cell franchise, I will definitely be covering it here as well. But that is all for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.